Okay, something that I have been struggling with, which I'm sure a lot of you are struggling with too, is the way that our society handles abuse and trauma. And I know I've spoken about this before, but I kind of feel like I just need to say it again. But we are not healing because of how dismissed we are, how everybody thinks of the rape or the abuse as an event that happened in the past, and they don't see the effect that it has on our bodies. They don't see what we carry with us. And it has bothered me so much throughout my life, but recently it's kind of come up a bit as my brother-in-law is going through cancer. He's in remission right now, but he went through cancer treatments. And one of my friends from a long time ago, I saw on Facebook that she was going through the same thing. Now, when somebody has cancer or a physical trauma or something, disease that has happened to them, what happens is that everybody can see the steps clearly of how to heal cancer, or maybe cancer's the least best example with the fear around not being able to cure it. But there are certain steps that people generally take in curing cancer, and there are certain steps that you take if you break a leg or an arm. And generally, everybody kind of knows these steps. And with abuse, we are told to forgive and forget, to let it go, to leave it in the past, to go to therapy. And it's not helping us. It's keeping us in these cages. It's keeping us in a place where we're like, wait, I'm feeling this, I'm suffering this, but they're telling me that it's in the past. I'm not doing well today. I'm not doing well for most of my life. There's something that needs to be resolved here. And people are, telling me to go talk to a counselor, but behind closed doors, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to fix this. And unfortunately, I have had great success with great improvement getting through this trauma as I have worked with the plant medicines. Ketamine has helped me. I mean, I've talked about this stuff, and the processing and stuff has helped me. But if you think about what would have happened if, I mean, every once in a while we might see a movie or maybe in real life we've seen this, but if a child is kidnapped, raped, and killed, there'd be a memorial, there would be a court, and her family would be loving her and cuddling her and taking care of her and giving her that recovery time that she needs. But the sad thing is that so often we are fractionating our personalities, okay? Because this is a healthy response to something that is so violent and traumatic. And sometimes just extremely stressful. But what happens is that when a child goes through an event like that, the stress, the fear, the trauma is so extreme that they either can die physically, go crazy mentally, or they fractionate. And this is a normal, healthy response, but what happens is that those memories can sometimes disappear, or get, not necessarily disappear, but get placed in a vault, placed in a file or a box somewhere in your mind so that you can continue to function. And you can't fully heal with your mind and your person in several different compartments, okay? So eventually you come to a breaking point. You come to a point when your body and mind is like, okay, it's time to deal with this. We've been holding this for so long. It's really time that we deal with this and bring it all together. And they call this DID, dissociative identity disorder. Used to be called multiple personalities, but I don't like putting that label on the whole thing, because not everybody has that experience of switching into entirely different personalities and forgetting who they were an hour ago or a day ago. But it is still very real that we have these different parts of our mind that are functioning. And for me, for example, the conscious part of me, the conscious 41-year-old part of me who's managing my life right now, will kind of push aside, not necessarily on purpose, but just so I can survive, just so I can function. I'm going to push that aside so that I can get up, so that I can take care of my kids, so that I can clean my house once in a while. And what happens is we push that part aside, and then when a time period comes where we feel like maybe we have the room to let go of some of that steam, let go of some of that, pressure behind the dam or whatever, and it just comes out. And the people that we love are like, what the heck is wrong with you? Why are you still here? Why are you bawling like you were raped yesterday? Well, it's kind of like you were raped yesterday. And that's the part of society I feel like we need to fix, because like I said, this is a normal, healthy response for children who've gone through this. And what we need is a safe place to move through this, and feel loved and supported and okay, like that there's not something wrong with us. Because as we're told over and over and over again that something is wrong with us, then we suppress. And though this hasn't been pleasant, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to go back there. It's not pleasant to feel the extreme anxiety, this extreme fear of a 5-year-old being raped. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to go through, even just the sexual abuse I got from my grandfather. There was so much fear and guilt and shame that came out of me as if it just barely happened. And my husband's barely learning how to understand this a bit now, but he likes to compartmentalize and put things in containers that he can understand. And so that's hard too when you're my husband, for example, when I was diagnosed with DID, he took it as an explanation to solve all the mysteries in his mind about me, and decided to put one day when I was upset again after sex, because it's where I got hurt. It's where I got hurt. It's been the most painful part of my life in a way, and it's the part where I need the most healing, where I feel like that maybe I could receive the most love. And so had another bad experience, cried about it, and my husband kind of put that in a container because it was the safe thing to do, or the thing that he understood I don't know, would help him the most to move forward. But he put that kind of in a box and said, oh, you flipped to this different personality, and felt like he could probably leave and check in later when the next personality is back. That's a problem. I don't really think that, I mean, we can explore these different memories and these different ages where maybe we got stuck. But I think the idea is to bring them all back in as a whole. And if you're a supporter of somebody who has been through something, family or friend, significant other, spouse, hopefully, then we need to understand and love the whole person, the whole, all of that. The 5-year-old, and just see that whole person and love them. Anyways, something that I actually learned from this counselor that told me about the fractionated personality. He said that the reason why talk therapy doesn't work, and I believe this 100% because this is what I've experienced in my life. He said, because each of those parts of you, the actual part that fractionated when there was a trauma has to tell their story and how they felt, both things. And when we're going to talk therapy and we're talking from our conscious mind about things that we may or may not remember and trying to piece it together, it doesn't work, because it would be kind of like my husband going around telling my story and then I don't really feel better because it's not releasing from me. The same thing with these. So in order to get true healing, you have to go to those parts that are in the subconscious mind, meaning that you have to do deep meditation kind of healings. EMDR has been helpful for me. Hypnosis has been helpful for me too. And the 4-step processing technique that I learned from the Institute of Healing Arts has been very helpful, and just meditating on my own and talking to these parts. Also, the plant medicines, extremely helpful. And I think that's why we see the most results with plant medicines, because it really gets you deep into that subconscious and you start to uncover these things and uncover these feelings that come out that have been in there for so long and have been so heavy and exhausting to carry. Hope that helps.